Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Awakening to Ascension. I am your host, Alex Nelson. I am here with Janae, Marlene, and special guest Peter. Our topic today is practitioners who rely heavily on intuition. So, this is going to be a great episode. I'm very much looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say and how they use intuition to maintain their practices and to help heal people. So, Peter, what are your modalities and what are the most important things about using intuition for your practices?
Um, so early in my life, it would have been through dreams and visions, which those started around, I want to say 7 years old, 5 to 7 years old. And I did not understand them. But as those visions and dreams started to come true, I started to realize that I had something that wasn't necessarily common. That was probably by the time I was 15 that became clear. But I'll be honest, it's taken most of my life up to probably around 40, which was 12 years ago, to understand what it was for. And then the last 12 years to really, for that really to saturate into what I was called to do. I don't know if I answered your question very well, so you'll have to tell
Yeah,
me.
no, that was perfect. So what were you called to do? What did you land on after going through all that?
I've always been a an empath. I've always been someone who could feel other people's energy, even though I didn't necessarily understand that I could. Um, I thought everybody could do it. To be honest, that's what I thought. So I kind of went through most of my life feeling that way, only to find out it wasn't true, or at
That
least
it's not for everybody, or it's not something
right.
everyone can do.
And I honestly, I think most of it, I think the blockades are ego and status quo. Um, and I'm speaking about other people. So they tend to think that it's the whimsical, that it's something that isn't real, and so they dismiss it. Their ego dismisses it. Not that they can't tap into it, but that they don't necessarily believe it, so therefore they can't.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me if this happened to you, because this was a big problem with or a big aspect of me growing up as an empath myself. I didn't understand that what I was feeling wasn't my emotions or my feelings. Like I'd get walk into a room and I'd feel everyone else's emotions and I would internalize it immediately, thinking like something is
Yep,
wrong with me. Did that ever happen to you?
100%. Yes.
Nice. Okay, so I'm not alone on that one. That's good. Yes, Janae?
So I just want to go back to when Peter said that it all started with dreams from age 5 to 7. And obviously, he only started realizing from 15 that, this is a recurring thing. I just want to find out from Alex and Marlene if the two of you are also tapped into the dreaming realm, where you are able to sense what is going to happen, not necessarily the way that it does happen. So I can relate with Peter that I have had dreams that have come to fruition, not necessarily in the way that I visioned it in my dream state.
Mm.
So it would have been a scenario that looked very different in a very different environment, but the individuals involved in the dream were basically involved in reality. So I just want to find out from you two if you've ever had an experience where you have had a dream, or even lucid dreaming, which is also something that I am able to do. I can go into a dream, I can control the dream, I can come out of a dream, wake up, become conscious, and go back into the same dream and continue. So I think it's quite an interesting topic. So just checking on everybody on that front would be interesting.
So for me, I am able to lucid dream. I can stop my dream, get up, go to the bathroom, come back, get back into the dream, and continue. And yes, I have had experiences in dreams where I have seen things and experienced, and that has come true as such. Most certainly. Also, I have a gift of when I look at people's faces, I can read a lot about the person, and I absorb energy and I clear energy that way as well. So if I put my hands on clients, and even not always having to do it that way, it doesn't have to be hands on, but being the empath, walking in and feeling. And it's just an immediate clearing that starts happening with me. So at times it becomes exceptionally intense. And when it started, I wasn't quite up to speed with everything because it's new. And so when I got those energies as well, just as Alex was saying, asking, what did you know what was happening? And it's like, no, you don't know. I didn't know at the time. And as the time went on, it became easier to read and intuit the messages and the feelings. So it takes practice and time and believing in yourself, and almost like following the breadcrumbs of every little thing that happens, the nuances, reading into those nuances, and then holding that and growing from that.
Okay, yeah. So with dreams, I I have been able to do the like falling back into the same dream. I mean, these things have happened, or like the lucid dreaming. And I guess some things that would come to fruition, but they were always very symbolic, right? So it's not exactly as it happened in the dream, and I'm never able to do this stuff intentionally. I mean, well, for the okay, so when the movie Inception came out, this I was able to like go into a dream within a dream, and I was just like trying to mimic what they were doing in the show or in the movie. And when I was doing that, I realized that like the further you go down into a dream, there's like time dilation. So I would feel like I was dreaming for a week, but it was just like 5 minutes. And I would actually use this tactic because I didn't want to go to school. I'd like hit the snooze button and I'm like, all right, dream within a dream within a dream within a dream because I don't want to get up and go to school. But that was like the only time I've had very much control over my dreams. I mean, you'll get like the ones every now and then where like you can fly and it's cool and you're like flying and then you like lose control and you suddenly can't fly. Um, but I haven't really been able to control them as well as I would like to. And I know I guess there are tricks to it, like becoming aware that you're dreaming by like trying to like check your watch or like flip on a light switch, like different things, or like look at your hands apparently as a way to lucid dream because like you just start noticing you're in a dream, you don't wake up. So like those are my experiences with dreaming. I don't like I find them very, very powerful, and I think that we wake up like we're all living multiple lives simultaneously. And when you go into a dream, you're actually just waking up in a different lifetime or a different timeline where you're like a different dimension or whatever. And like if you were ever to like die, then you would just wake up somebody else somewhere else. You know, like there's no end. We're just constantly in the same, we're just constantly going all at the same time. And this life feels very like mundane because our consciousness is like stuck to this timeline, I think as like a calibration tool. Because like I think every night we see go up into the heavens, we see everything. We're like, oh, this is like so awe-inspiring. But if we lived like that all the time, we wouldn't appreciate it, right? So like checking ourselves and coming back into this reality that's like, I mean, it's 3D Earth, you know, like the fuck, bro. Sorry. Like, we usually don't swear on this show. Anyway. Anyone else have any input on that one? Go ahead, Janae.
Alex, I absolutely love doing this with you every single day because it's so heartwarming to be a part of a community that sees you after so many years of feeling alone, and now you're just a part of this tribe. I'm in heaven. But I actually just wanted to say, so Peter specifically is psychic and he practices telepathy. So he actually picked up on some things. So we've been in conversation between ourselves, and he lives all the way in the United States of America and I'm all the way here in South Africa. And he sends me a message. He's like, Shanae, were you thinking this? So I'm like, how do you know that? So I want to go into this telepathy thing because I think it's beautiful, and he can explain because his daughter has cerebral palsy and he's able to communicate with her, and I think it's such a beautiful gift. So that based on intuition, let's hear what Peter has to say about telepathy, and if he has any tips on anybody, what what it feels like, how you make it feel more heightened, become more powerful. Let's go Peter.
Okay. Okay. So telepathy is, I would say, this newest strand of it. I've known I've had it, but it was limited to previously. It was limited to being able to sense someone else's energy. Sometimes I could see bits and pieces of their past. I could see pain points. I could see uh, snapshots of their childhood. Um, However, a friend of mine, um, and I don't want to call her out because I don't know if I have permission, but so yeah, so I have to be careful what I say, how much I say. And unfortunately I wish I didn't have to do that, but um, it's fairly new. I'll say that this is a recent development. So like I was able to read I was able to read Janae, sorry. Um, a thought that she had at one point. I'm not going to say what it is because that's her business and she can bring it up if she wishes to. But I picked up on something, and so I just said it to her and she was like, actually, yeah. So, but that this has been very new for me, and I will say that I am in contact with others who are much more gifted than I am in that area. Um, that's not something I necessarily have specialized in the past, but it's been pretty exciting in the last, we'll call it a month. Um, and I have been able to pick up on my daughter, and then I've been able to ask her questions, like yes or no questions that she can answer to. And yes, she gives a specific response, and then no, she's typically like blank. She won't answer. So that's her no. And so she was able to confirm what I was asking her. And I was asking her very specific questions. So it was just really interesting. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how else to answer that.
No, thank you. I think it's such a beautiful thing that we are all here with our own innate gifts. So there's not one of us that is the exact same. We are just all so unique, and one's gift cannot be another one's gift. So I also just think that the viewers and the listeners need to understand that you cannot duplicate. So if, Peter has this gift with telepathy and with his psychic visions through dreams, and Marlene is able to touch and see somebody and pick up their energies, and every single one of us are different, and I feel as though that's also become quite a misconception in this world of awakening, is that we now all need to understand exactly like how to do this and how to do that. And I think that you must just understand that you are beautiful and you are unique, and you just need to tap more into something that's a little bit more highlighted in your world. Yes, Alex.
Yes, well, 100%. So I love that so many people's abilities are coming online and in their own unique and different ways. What I would love to see is getting these people like in groups and just like test their abilities off with each other, right? And like get to know each other's and like see how they're uniquely different rather than every single person that has a disorder or something unique about them. They get put on, pharmaceuticals, put in this box, put into a special classroom so that they can do their difference and they won't, they kind of remove them from society and set them up to fail rather than nurturing these different abilities and gifts. And I'm really looking forward to the next generation of, well, okay, so this is kind of a, I mean, I feel sorry for like the next generation of humans because like I'm sorry we didn't set you up as well as we could have. We're kind of just repairing what has happened from our generation to from our parents. But like because the next generation they're coming online with just such a stronger head on their shoulders and like things they were given like classified as like autistic or different disorders like they're actually gifts and like special abilities. So like I am stoked to see like what they do with this and I'm trying to do my best to set them up the very best that I can. Janae?
Just to touch on the generation that's coming in, so Mason, my son, who's 7, he's been gifted since he was little, and I think as awakened parents, conscious beings, we are tapping more into nurturing their gifts and understanding more that their world is completely different to what ours was when we were their age. So something that's, I said it to Marlene, I saw her, and I said to her, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all of these downloads and all of these messages, and we call them downloads, those of you that don't understand, as intuition. How we receive things is through a download, and those downloads look very different. So Peter sees them through visions. I see them through visions, but I also just almost become a conduit of message. So I have no idea how it's coming out, but I'm just speaking. Marlene has experienced it firsthand, and I'm just going and I'm seeing things, and I'm not in control of my verbal vocabulary, but it's just coming. So, with regards to that, I've been receiving these downloads where I'm being called to nurture telepathy and telekinesis with Mason, and that's what we are doing. So I'm actually doing lessons with him where we are focusing our energy and our attention on that, because I've been told that is something that he needs to tap more into. Because he's 7, he wouldn't receive that download and just come to me and say, mommy, I need to do this. So as a conscious parent, and if you have children, you can see that they are gifted. Nurture it and speak to them, ask them, show them, guide them. And if you're unsure, speak to somebody who could assist in that area. So I just wanted to really add on that.
Excellent. Did you want to
Mm.
add anything, Marlene, before we wrap up?
What I would like to say is, following on from what Janae said, is that parents should always be there to support and nurture, not to think of their children as crazy or kind of close their gifts off, shut them down, say things that are not on the nurturing side of those gifts and the growth side. Because I think when parents are not aware as well, they poo-poo things and say, no, that's not the way it is. So when children see their imaginary friends and speak to them, they say, no, there isn't such things, stop doing that. And I believe that that is really not conducive at all. Rather be there to support and nurture them.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. That's all the time we have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if any intuitives are watching, drop in the comments how you rely on intuition for your practices. Very special thanks to Peter for joining us today. It was very awesome having you on the show. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.